Hey guys, this is Josh here with Trillium Wild Edibles, and today I wanted to count down 6 wild edible plants for kids. Each plant on this list has been selected because of how easy they are to identify and how good they taste, which is extremely important if you want your kids to eat healthier. Each one of these plants grows in most of the entire country as well, so finding them should not be of difficulty. And now with that out of the way, let's get started. Number 7 is the beloved raspberry, a medium growing thorny shrub that's one of the many rubus species. Raspberries are usually more sweet than blackberries and do not contain the stem part that blackberries have, which gives the raspberry a characteristic pit or bowl shape after being pulled from the bush. These delicious berries are relished by animals and humans alike and are very popular for making jams, jellies, pastries, and even pies. They are a potent source of antioxidants and vitamins, as well as being sweet enough to usually eat raw or with oatmeal or yogurt. Being easy to identify with its 3 serrated leaves growing from a stem that has a powdery-like coating on it with thorns, the raspberry commonly grows on the edges of lawns and woodlots. The berries are easily picked with leather gloves, as the thorns can cause some good pricks if you're not careful. However, it is very easy and even fun to gather a lot of them, and even more fun to make a delicious raspberry pie. Number 6 is the mulberry, a medium-sized tree with edible berries. It has a couple commonly seen and gathered species like the red and white mulberry. Both have the same uses for food and taste similar too, in my opinion. These trees, however, are notorious for giving homeowners a hard time, as they're very hard to get rid of, and the stains from the bird feces gets all over patios and decks. However, these berries are a nutritional powerhouse and have both insulin and inulin, so they're good for people who are hyperglycemic or hypoglycemic. The tree itself is easy to identify, as its berries look like blackberries or sometimes raspberries that are hanging from the tree, and there's usually a mitten-shaped leaf somewhere on the tree as well. The berries themselves are good for juicing, pastries, pies, jams, and even jellies, and also taste rather delicious if gathered from the right tree. Gathering them can be rather fun for children, as they get to throw things, shake branches, and whatever else they can come up with to knock the berries down. Number 5 is Common Chickweed, or Stellaria medea. This plant has a few edible cousins that look similar and one toxic lookalike. However, they are very easily separated, and I have not found one with the other. Chickweed is a small, low-growing plant that loves the edges of houses and barns, with opposite ovate-shaped leaves and a small white flower that appears to have 10 petals. Its toxic lookalike is called scarlet pimpernel, and it has a red to orange flower and spots on the undersides of the leaves. Chickweed's use as a salad green, however, are almost unrivaled, because if gathered at the right time or in the right condition, it tastes just like baby lettuce. It's so good that I use it as much as I possibly can. The chickweed is easy to gather as well, because usually in the spring and fall, the top inch or so is just tender young tops with big lush leaves that are going to be good to eat. The fact that it usually grows in your yard, is easy to identify, and tastes great makes this another excellent plant to teach your kids about. Number 4 is the common violet, or Viola papilionacea. This small but beautiful flower is usually seen on lawns and around gardens in moist areas. However, it is chock full of essential vitamins like A and C. The leaves themselves can be eaten raw, though they are kind of bland in taste, which is kind of nice for kids or picky eaters, because they might not even notice them. The flowers, however, have been used for many years in European countries for candy making, just by simmering the flower in syrup and then sometimes even coating with powdered sugar. The flowers are also very delicious when added to salads and add a nice sweetness to any recipe, including sandwiches and wraps. Their beautiful color also makes them a fun and attractive garnish for salads, soups, or any other recipe, plus they're fun for kids to collect by simply plucking them off of the stem. Another great use for the flowers is to steep a nice cup of flavorful tea to help relax on a rough day, or to even help calm the kids at nighttime. Number 3 is the notorious dandelion, or Taraxacum officinale. This common and well-known lawn and garden pest is actually one of our most useful weeds, which is presumably why it is in such abundance. However, the flowers are not only fun to play with and to draw in your face with, but they also make an awesome fritter when covered in batter and fried. The greens are what most people want to eat, but all of the dandelion is edible in one way or another. However, the leaves and flower buds and flowers are the easiest to work with. The greens themselves can be kind of finicky when it comes to their taste, as they do get a little bit more bitter in sunlight, but cooking them properly will help to manage that bitterness just a little bit. The greens themselves also make an excellent addition to salads, having more vitamin A than a carrot and loads of trace minerals. When chopped small, the bitterness can be managed if they are to be used raw, and the gathering and preparation process of making a dandelion green pizza can be quite fun for children. Number 2 is the red clover or Trifolium praetens. This plant is commonly used in herbal medicine, however it is also edible and very easy to identify. Many children love to eat their sweet-tasting flower heads in the summer as they play in lawns and fields. The leaves of the red clover and its other cousin, the white clover, are both edible, though they're best to be cooked because they can be hard to digest raw. Once cooked, however, they are quite bland in taste, small in size, and very easily worked into any recipe, including anything green. The benefit to the leaves of the clover, though, is that they do contain a fair amount of protein, which makes them one of the other few leaf green sources of protein. The flowers of the red clover also make a delicious and exceptionally healthy tea when steeped for 5 to 10 minutes and then sweetened. This tea can be drank cold or hot and tastes great both ways. The flower heads are fun to gather and another plant that kids might very well spend more time playing with than actually eating them. Number 1 is the white pine or Pinus strobus. This stately and common tree can occur almost anywhere in the country and is very easy to identify with its long needles that are always in clusters of 5. This is one of the most useful plants that anyone can know, and they also make excellent though dangerous climbing trees. The white pine has many uses overall, but most useful and tasty for children are the use of the needles for tea. This tea has much more vitamin C than orange juice and also contains minerals like zinc, which can help to boost the immune system. The tea from pine needles is kind of like a slightly piney version of green tea, but with honey it really does come to life. The pine cones themselves are not without use, as the nuts inside, albeit rather small, are quite delicious and full of essential fats and proteins, plus gathering from their height can be kind of fun for young boys. The resin that exudes from the wounds on the tree also make an excellent glue and is a great way to get the kids into bushcrafting or to just get them really sticky. That's a fair amount of plants that are great for kids to know, and chances are your kids already know some or most of these plants, so it's a great opportunity to teach them just a little bit about foraging wild edibles. I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. If you want to learn more about edible or medicinal plants, make sure to subscribe.